Security is important. Your security is important. And in this video, we're going to talk about just that. How important security is, what you should be looking at when it comes to the internet. We want to be safe. When we make sure that when we browse the internet, we don't have any challenges to get where we need to go. We also want to make sure that we don't have anybody tracking us, right? So in this video, we're going to talk about ProtonVPN. Now, if you're familiar with the word Proton, it is the same company that brought you ProtonMail. Same company from Geneva, Switzerland, right? Where security there is top notch, right? So in this video, we're going to talk about ProtonVPN, the benefits of ProtonVPN, and investing in your security. Hey, what's up, guys? Andrew here. Welcome to my channel where I share tech tips and entertainment content. In this video, we're going to talk about ProtonVPN, and we're going to share some impressions. All right, guys, the world's only community-supported secure VPN service. You have 54 countries, over 1,000 servers, 1,260 gigabytes per second, right? So you have two main services here for Proton. You have ProtonMail and ProtonVPN. We're going to be focusing on ProtonVPN. One of the things I wanted to show you specifically here is that the team around 2014, on the 25th anniversary of the web, they built ProtonMail to make online privacy a reality again for millions of people around the world. So I just want to put that into perspective for a second. So when you think about security, you want to make sure that you have the best product that you can use for that. And they gathered around and said, you know what? We need a product that's so secure that anybody that's using it, they have no doubt that the product is going to serve the needs that it is intended for. And they did just that. They created ProtonMail. And then not too long after that, not too many years after that, we now have ProtonVPN. So I wanted to share some thoughts here with you guys as the service itself, but let's just jump into the features section. I want to definitely highlight a lot of the features there so you guys see what you're getting once you decide to invest in yourself and your security for ProtonVPN. So features. So we already talked about the servers, so we're going to start scrolling down to some of the things that you're going to look forward to once you decide to invest. Strict no logs policy. Strict no logs policy. All apps are open source and audited. High-speed connections, which is great. Based in Switzerland, and you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you have the secure core. Basically, what that does is it gives you the unique ability to defend against network-based attacks. Strong encryption, and that is AES 256, which is right here. And then this was interesting to me when I started really doing the research about ProtonVPN. Carefully selected our encryption cipher suites to only include ones that have perfect forward secrecy, which means that your encrypted traffic cannot be captured or decrypted later if the encryption key from a subsequent session gets compromised. I thought that was really interesting. Strong protocols, you have that there. Swiss based. Okay, so let's just jump into that for a second. Swiss based. So there's a lot of companies that are based in Switzerland, and whenever I hear Switzerland, it always is associated with security. So once I saw that, I was easily intrigued by the fact that when you look at ProtonVPN, it says ProtonVPN also benefits from strong legal protection because we are based in Switzerland. ProtonVPN is protected by some of the world's strongest privacy laws and remains outside of US and EU jurisdictions. And I think that's really important to pay attention to, especially if you're considering a VPN to invest in, that you make sure that these things are in place for you. As it says here, ProtonVPN is protected by some of the world's strongest privacy laws and remains outside of US and EU jurisdictions. This means that unlike VPN providers based in a 14 eyes country, we cannot be coerced and do spying on our users, which is great. It is definitely a trusted service, trusted by education, challenging governments, training journalists. And that's another thing too that's important when you're considering these things, is when you are a correspondent for a country outside of your main country, you want to make sure that whatever service that you use, you're automatically protected by those things. And if you are familiar with ProtonMail, even if you use their service just for a short period of time, you know for a fact that their service is really strong in what it provides. So the fact that they mentioned that here, I think is absolutely dope. Training journalists, long history of fighting for privacy online and contributing to the open source community. You have that. Physical security. It talks about those things. ProtonVPN secure core servers to ensure their security. They go to extreme lengths for that. Critical infrastructure in Switzerland is located in a former Swiss Army fallout shelter, which is interesting, 1,000 meters below the surface. That's pretty cool. So no logs policy, you have that. DNS leak prevention, you have that, right? So doesn't just protect your browsing traffic. We also protect your DNS queries, which is dope. Kill switch and always on VPN. So this is essential depending on what you're doing on the internet. So if you're doing something on the net where you don't want your traffic to be seen in any way, shape, or form, what you want to make sure that you do is you want to have a service that has a kill switch, which means that whatever activity that you're doing, if your VPN decides to get disconnected, then all the apps associated with it gets shut off and disconnected as well. So Proton VPN applications offer a built-in kill switch feature or a always on VPN feature. In the event that you lose connection with the VPN server, kill switch blocks all network traffic, while always on automatically reestablish the connection to a VPN server. These features prevent a VPN server disconnect from inadvertently compromising your privacy by revealing your true IP address. So that is something that is essential when it comes to these services, where you want to make sure that when you're using the service, that it doesn't compromise your IP address. So they have all those things in place. And on top of that, last and definitely not least is Tor over VPN, which it talks about here. Tor over VPN comes with a Tor support built in, and you have that. Through VPN servers that support Tor, you can route all your traffic through the Tor anonymity network and also access dark websites. This provides a convenient way to access onion sites with just clicks. So you have anonymous things here, high speed, easy to use, and I definitely want to mention that. All right, guys, the next section here is the actual software itself. I'm currently connected to Proton VPN. As you can see the different spots that it supports: Mexico, Costa Rica, Colombia, Italy, every place that you can imagine there's a server close or nearby. And you also have you can scroll down through all the different servers that they have here. And I'm actually going to go through the different sections of the app so you see how it operates. So that there's a lot of different servers here, and you can see my traffic is being processed here on the bottom of the screen right here. And then you have also zooming in and out of a particular section, area, or territory, depending on where you want to link to. So you have that. And then you also have profile options if you wanted to do that. Of course, you have the countries here. The secure core, pretty much as we mentioned in the first section, provides you additional routing. So you want to make sure that your connection does not get compromised. So there is that. I'm also going to go through the section here on the side here. So you have your about section here. Talks about versions of the software, when it was recently updated. This is the 16th of November, 2020, the year of uncertainty, if you will. Then you have the account section. You have the different services that you can use, and it tells you the options of the services there under accounts. And then from here, you have profiles. You have the fastest, depending on how you want to set that up for yourself. And you have that section there. And then the next section here, we have settings. From here, you have your general settings. You have the language settings. If you want to start it, minimize or not, you have the options to do that. System taskbar, start with Windows. You could say yes or no. You could show notifications if you'd like. Early access options, you have that as well. Next tab here is the auto connect feature, which you can do. You can do fastest or random depending on the setting that you want to have set for that. Quick connect, you want to do that for the fastest server available to you at that time. You have default protocols depending on what you want to do there. You want to do smart, you want to do OpenVPN, TCP or UDP, depending on what you want to do there. You can also do custom DNS servers. You have that option to do it as well. So on the advanced section, you have the VPN kill switch. If you want to activate that, you can turn that on. You have your DNS leak protection. You have that as well. You have allow alternative routing. That's an option. IPv6 leak protection. You can check that off if you want. Split tunneling is something that I didn't know what it was named at first. So I want to talk about that for a second. I didn't know exactly what I was looking for when I was searching for a VPN, because I definitely sought them out to, find out how the software worked. So pretty much what happens with the split tunneling, now that I understand what it is, I can definitely share that with you guys, is you can isolate the apps that do not go through the VPN tunnel. So for me specifically, there are certain apps, or even games that I want to make sure that do not have access or go through the VPN tunnel. So such apps include games, right? Specific games like Destiny 2, or specific apps like Steam. So the way I have it set up right now, I want to show this to you guys, is that if you look here on the left side, you'll see that Destiny 2 is checked off as one of the applications that I want to exclude from the VPN tunnel. And the other app I have as well is Steam. I want to exclude those two from the VPN tunnel. So I'm sure there's some other applications I may include. I may include other applications like Battle.net, and some other applications that I feel that when I'm on with those applications, I do not want any restrictions or strict NAT situations with those applications. So I started off with Destiny. I added that. So what's interesting about that, I definitely want to point this out, is when I just did Steam and I didn't do Destiny, Destiny said that I had some strict NAT issues that I needed to correct. But once I added Destiny, I didn't have any of those issues. So if there's specific games and apps that you want to make sure are not affected by the VPN tunnel, make sure your split tunneling exclude those applications. So this is very important for me to do there. So depending on what you want to do there, if you want to do an IP address, you can do that on the right side. So that's that particular section there. And of course, you have you have the help section. You have report a bug if you wanted to do that, and log out and exit. And I think that's pretty much it for this actual software. It's pretty clean. I like the fact that the cosmetics and aesthetics of the application is clean, which is fantastic. And I definitely want to share that with you guys. I think this software, ProtonVPN, is the best VPN software out right now. Okay, hands down, it doesn't have any competition. And I really feel strongly about that. So strongly that I feel about that is I've invested in it myself. I do not have a free account with them, but I definitely wanted to promote this software to you guys because I really believe in what they're doing. If you take the time to look at their history and what they've done throughout the years, you see that this is a solid company doing great things. Again, I want to be clear. This is not an account that was sent to me for free. I've invested my money into this software, and I want you guys to invest in your security as well. I'm going to link the current Black Friday sale that ProtonVPN is having right now. And I'm also going to link a video here and here. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.